News now.
Hi, I'm Steve Blame and this is the News at Night. On tonight's show, in the run-up to MTV News' Vote Europe weekend on June the 4th and 5th, pop stars tell us what Europe means to them. And we speak to American soul singer R. Kelly and his protégé, Aliyah. First off tonight, it's almost time for European elections. In fact, in just under 2 weeks' time, on the 9th and 12th of June, elections for the European Parliament take place in EU member countries. And in the last of our Monday reports, I visit Strasbourg, home of the European Parliament, to find out just how it all works and what its members do. Behind me is the European Parliament in Strasbourg. In under 2 weeks' time, millions of people from the 12 member states of the European Union will elect 567 members to the European Parliament for a 5-year mandate. But one question will be on their lips as they ponder over their ballot papers. What exactly does the European Parliament do?
This Parliament is now, at present, is a powerful institution.
The main idea of European Parliament is to spread out the big lines, the main lines.
Many issues, so different, like the power of motorbikes or the future of our culture or the additives for food are decided here.
The European Parliament divides into 4 main parties. On the left are the Socialist PSE Party and the Greens. On the right are the PPE, the European People's Party. In the centre are the Liberal Democratic Reform Group. And lastly come a handful of independent and regional parties. The European Commission, the Council of Ministers and the European Parliament all play a part in lawmaking in the EU. The Commission originates the laws, and Parliament and the Council amend and revise them in a complex process.
There has been a big change in the last months after Maastricht. The Parliament is now able to decide the legislation or to vote against the Council. We have to elect the new Commission, and that will change the connection between Commission and Parliament fully.
This is the main chamber of the Parliament where MEPs discuss and vote on the most important issues. And because of the different nationalities represented here, all documents and speeches have to be translated into 9 languages.
The very first time I came to the Parliament, I was sitting next to a big Italian communist who stood up and spoke and banged the table and shouted. And through my earphones came a very quiet female voice saying, "The revolution will start tomorrow."
Never in Europe you will have one language for all, because language is not only an instrument for communication, it's a culture.
MEPs seem to spend a lot of their time travelling on trains and planes between Strasbourg and Brussels. They're often accused of having a good time on the European taxpayers' expense and frankly not doing very much.
The reality is that what people gain here as money is tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous. If you use all the legal possibilities, you might gain every month an amount of money as to 500,000 Belgian francs.
Paul Stays is possibly the most frugal MEP at the European Parliament. He sleeps in his office at Strasbourg, which isn't allowed. And instead of entertaining himself on his expense account, he plays his guitar to himself.
Once I made a part of an existence far away, waking up when I'm asleep.
Although there are a handful of work dodgers at the Parliament, most MEPs seem to work as hard or harder than their national counterparts.
I probably work about 18 hours a day. I contribute to work on committees. I act as a lobbyist for my country and my constituency. I chair the Youth Committee in the Parliament.
This building houses the offices of the MEPs, and these are the corridors of power. One office here is occupied by the youngest MEP, 28-year-old Noura Mabrak Zaidi. The European Parliament is actually one of the youngest parliaments in Europe, and only the Danish and Dutch Parliament have a higher percentage of women members.
Je crois que le Parlement européen, la Commission dans son ensemble, les institutions européennes ont quand même essayé à travers les années de prendre en considération les préoccupations des jeunes. Il existe de nombreux programmes, comme par exemple le programme Jeunesse pour l'Europe, des programmes qui visent à favoriser les échanges entre jeunes.
The European Parliament makes decisions on a wide range of topics which affect our everyday life as European citizens. Crucial to formulating those policies are 19 committees of MEPs.
We've been able to improve maternity leave for many, many thousands of British women. That's been one of the great achievements.
We try to do something about education and training. There have been new programs to give some actual aid for firms to employ young people.
In this moment, the only way to create jobs for the future of Europe is through a joint effort in which our institution plays a major role.
Citizens of Europe can have a direct link to the European Parliament. All you've got to do is submit a petition.
We have had petitions signed by 2.5 million people from all the 12 European Union countries, particularly young people, on issues like animal welfare. And there is European legislation as a result of their activities and their support from the MEPs at the Petitions Committee.
In less than 2 weeks' time, if you're over 18 and on the electoral register and live in one of the member states, you'll be able to vote in the forthcoming European elections, which could affect your future.
We always vote for reasons of tomorrow, not for reasons of yesterday.
You've absolutely got to make sure that extremist groups don't get too many votes.
I always say if you don't vote, you can't ask for anything.
And if you still have questions, the Euro Citizen Action Service has a plan to help. They've established a telephone hotline, so if you're wondering how the European Parliament can defend your rights, concerned about border controls, quality of work, or wondering how to lobby the European Parliament, here's the number to call. Your Rights in Europe hotline. Phone your international access number +322 534 4233. That's the phone number again. It's 322 534 4233. If you're lucky enough to have a fax, then your international access code followed by 322 534 7975. That's the fax number, 322 534 7975. And the lines are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. Now, music is often considered a unifying force. When politicians can't reach the people, pop stars have often taken up the cause of fighting racism, helping to feed the world, or holding concerts to benefit AIDS research. So in the light of that, we asked a selection of European pop stars what Europe means to them.
I think Europe's means to me a mixture of many different cultures. Hopefully living together as one.
You know, you've been English for 30 years, you can't suddenly become European overnight just because it's, you know, because there's a tunnel connecting the countries or whatever.
I'd like to think I was a European. Yeah.
What the world needs is more Nazis, like it needs a hole in the head. Your future is not safe.
Unfortunately, sometimes when I think of Europe, I think of the rise in racism, which is a bit sad. I just hope it gets sorted out.
Europe killed Africa. Africa now is a mess just because of Europe.
You have to be a tiny little stone in a very colorful, different house. And to be aware that I'm not very important, but I have the chance to be proud to be part of this big European house.
We're very tribal, very armed and very rich. I don't think artificial political notions of the United Europe, etc., can work in that situation. All that can work, which is the central idea of Europe, of the European Union, is that we bring ourselves up to economic parity so no one desires to go in or has any jealousies of a country that is left. But even then I'm sceptical. I think it's far more deep-rooted than that.
I always thought the idea of the European community was an incredible idea. And, yeah, I think it's just the more boundaries and and borders that go down, the better.
Europe's greatest contribution to the world, too many to mention. But something that comes to mind of Europe's most stupid contribution to the world is all our food mountains that we're sitting on and wasting and letting go rotten when we've got a world full of starving people further afield. Get it from here to there.
All this week on News at Night, we'll be looking at issues to do with the European Union, leading up to a final weekend of special programming. So tune in all this week on News at Night for more details. Finally tonight, back to some music news. Singer, songwriter and producer R. Kelly has been knocked off the top of Billboard's R&B singles chart by his protege, 16-year-old Aaliyah. Kelly's Bump and Grind was holding the top spot 2 weeks ago until Aaliyah's debut Back and Forth hit #1 after only 4 weeks on the chart. However, it's some consolation that Kelly's latest single, Your Body's Calling, is sitting right behind at #2, and it's obvious the pair are enjoying the competition.
I told her I would get her. I talked to her the other day and I said, I'm going to get you with Body's Calling, so you better watch out. But then she said she's going to get me with her next single. Leah is amazing because of the fact that she has just as much confidence in herself and her music as I have in mine.
Because we became rather close over the time we spent together. He's not only my mentor, he's like my best friend. And I learned a great deal from him. You see, he's produced platinum albums, and I've learned a lot from him musically. He helped me image-wise. He really kind of raised me, I would say, on this music. So it's been a great experience.
It still remains to be seen which one of the two will win the top chart position in Europe. Although R. Kelly's singles have been released, Aaliyah's Back and Forth won't be out until June the 13th, followed by her album, appropriately titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, produced by R. Kelly. And a rather large number in my case. That's it for tonight's News at Night. Tomorrow we catch up with dance duo Max in our Tuesday Breaker spot, whose single Get Away is one of Europe's dance floor hits.
And Max has been so successful, so it's saying something. And I think the kids want that. They want something different.
I mean, the music's getting faster and harder, maybe techno songs. But we want to do our own style, and we continue with that, I think.
More on Max tomorrow. Don't forget, you can find all today's stories, as usual, on the MTV Tech Service on your telly. And next up, 3 from 1 with Wait For It. Phil Collins. Bye.